Hey, my name is Ify. I'm a brand new student, university student, and I'm here to present my signature assignment for Nuru 642. I'll be meeting with Chinaza, who is a second generation Nigerian, and she is facing a lot of pressure from her parents to either get married or break up with her boyfriend, go back to Nigeria and get married. She is also facing a lot of pressure from her parents to leave her what she called a dream job and go back and get her doctorate. Chinaza has been a high achiever and she's never had A minus. She went to a chartered school. She has pleased her parents, has done everything her parents has wanted her to do, has never disappointed her parents until recently. While she was in high school, she took all her GE classes and she graduated with honors. She went straight to an Ivy League school and graduated at the age of 23. She has her bachelor's and master's in pharmacy. Unfortunately, she had the plan to go to college, but fortunately, she got this lifetime executive position, which she calls her dream job. And so she decided to defer getting a doctorate degree, but her parents are not buying that idea. Being the first child in her family, there's a lot of pressure to be an outstanding performer or achiever so that her younger siblings will follow her footsteps and outperform her. Also, both of her parents have doctorate education and they cannot bear the shame that their first child will have less than a doctorate degree. The new job she started is very challenging, and graduating from Ivy League school, she is of the opinion that she is expected to outperform others. She feels that she is slow at work. She gets upset when other people try to help her. She feels inferior when she's not able to finish her work on time. For the past 3 weeks, she has had problem with sleeping, has not gone to her usual dance classes, which she usually goes every evening. Sometimes she wakes up with headache and will call in sick. She also started drinking heavily, which is unacceptable for females in Nigerian family. She has refused to go out riding bike or hiking with her boyfriend, which they usually do every Saturday morning. She feels sad, depressed, helpless, easily irritable, and she feels she's a disappointment to her family. Because of her drinking, she's having relationship problem with her boyfriend, and sometimes she wishes she never wakes up. When I meet with Chinaza, we're going to discuss 3 therapies: interpersonal psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and gestalt therapy. We will use the interpersonal psychotherapy to address her broken relationship with her parents. We also address the trigger for her problems and her depression, and the trigger for her problems with her husband, which is her new job, with her parents, which is her new job. We are going to address the conflict of her making a decision for the first time as an adult without doing exactly as her parent had said. We will also address her negative coping mechanism, which is her heavy drinking and suicidal thoughts. We're going to help her to deal with mourning the loss of being an outstanding Nigerian child. We're going to help her embrace her independence as a young adult and develop healthier making cognizing. For the CBT, we're going to use cope strategies to address her feeling of failure. We will work on challenging her perception of herself as a failure, and we will change her negative thinking of herself to positive thinking of herself. We will also help her deal with her feeling of inferior, low self-esteem, feeling of inadequacy, feeling of shame, and self-blame. Lastly, we're going to use the empty chair of gestalt therapy to help her empty her thoughts, which she has bottled inside so much. Because of her cultural background as a child raised in a Nigerian family, she's not expected to argue with her parents. She's not expected to air her view, except if her parents are willing to listen or ask her to air her view. Or else it will be considered that she's being disrespectful or she's being disrespectful. So we're going to start the therapy. Hi Chinaza, how are you today?
I'm good.
Before we start, I want to inform you that this session will be recorded and posted on our school website online for my instructor and possibly other students to view. Do I have your permission to record and post this session?
Yes, you have my permission.
Thank you. So today we are going to go over 3 different therapies: interpersonal psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and gestalt therapy. And I'll be giving you homework that you do on each of them to bring to next week. Okay?
Okay.
So tell me, how do you feel today?
So.
Well, I hope you feel better at the end of this therapy.
Me too.
Good. So we'll start with interpersonal psychotherapy. We will deal with your broken relationship with your parents. We will deal with the cause of conflict in your new role as a young adult, making your own decision. We're going to deal with this current stressful situation in your life, which is your new executive position. We're also going to talk about your poor coping mechanism, your heavy drinking, and help you to build better coping mechanism so you can effectively deal with the stress of everything positively. So tell me, when did you start drinking?
I used to drink socially when I go out with my boyfriend. I would take a sip from his drink. In my culture, women were not accepted to drink because they carry babies, breastfeed, and raise the children. So most of my drinking has been taking a sip. However, since I picked up this lifetime opportunity job, I am the assistant director of operation in a pharmaceutical company. I have had problems with my parents to the point they feel I have disappointed them. I made the decision to delay my doctorate without doing exactly as they wanted me to. But you don't get this type of opportunity every day. During my BS and MS pharmaceutical internship, I worked with the outstanding assistant director, and when he was about to retire, he appointed me for the job. He felt I have the demeanor, patience, and intelligence to do the job. My parents were not buying that. They don't know how lucky I am to get this opportunity straight out of school. Some pharmacists work for 20 years to get this position. My parents were focused on me adding doctor to my name. What is the need of having a doctorate and sitting inside a hospital pharmacies, dispensing medications? Also, there is this issue of getting married and having children. My boyfriend is in his final year of medical school and does not want to hear anything about wedding. We both agreed that he will at least start his residency before we get married. My parents would want to hear that. They already had a medical doctor waiting for me in Nigeria. Then my new job is so challenging. I'm still doing my orientation, but it is like everyone feels I am incompetent. They are always checking on me. Have you done this and that? Do you need help? Do you need extra time? Do you want me to help you with that? Take your time. You're not under the clock. You can finish or leave whenever you can, or you can take it home. I don't see them talk to others like that. So all these feelings of inadequacy, both in my family and at work, started causing me to feel like no one, and sometimes like a piece of garbage. And that is why I started bringing alcohol home to drink a glass before going to bed. Over the last 2 weeks, I have been drinking a full bottle. Sometimes my boyfriend comes home and meets me drunk and passed out on the couch. I woke up in the morning with headache and calling sick, and then I would lie in the bed and cry all day. Nothing interests me anymore. Not work, not school, not my boyfriend. I just want to disappear.
Wow. It seems you're going through a rough patch. However, let me ask you one important question. Do these feelings or pressures get so overwhelming that you want to hurt yourself or end your life?
No, I don't have the feelings to hurt myself. But I just wish I could go to bed and not wake up. I wish God would do all of us a favor and take me.
You have to understand as an adult, and you also have to accept that as an adult that you will one day make the right decision for yourself without consulting your parents or even with consulting them. However, if those decisions that you gut feeling tells you it's right for you conflict with your parents' expectation, it is going to bring conflict, and you have to be willing to accept those conflicts as part of life. Right now, I want you to know that as a young adult, you have made the right decision to follow your heart and seize this great opportunity of taking your job. However, you have to understand too that your decision is new to your parents. Being independent adult is new to your parents, and it's gonna cause some conflict. What you need to do is to develop positive coping mechanism. and dealing with these new conflicts and the stresses that comes from your new roles as an executive at a very young age. It seems that you turn to drinking as a coping mechanism to cope with your pain and stress, right?
Yes.
Good. But in this therapy, we're going to help you work on healthier coping mechanism. So the things you're going to do, they are your assignment for this interpersonal therapy. This is your first assignment. When you go home, I want you to get a diary and a pen. I want you both at home, at work, to write down all your feelings when they occur, your feelings of inadequacy, your feelings of isolation from your parents, your feelings of failure, your feelings of sadness, your feelings of frustration, urge to drink, or not wanting to live or wake up anymore. You're going to write them and grade them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 representing when you don't have these feelings, and 2 to 10 representing the degrees to which you have these feelings. Also, I need you to write a journal about your day, your thinking, your feeling, and your behavior. Any questions?
No, I got it.
Good. For the next therapy, we're going to use for the next cognitive behavioral therapy, we're going to use the COPE strategies and deal with your most difficult challenges. Okay?
Okay.
So now tell me, what is the most difficult part of your challenges?
Everything. My parents believe that by not getting a doctorate degree, I am setting a bad example to my 3 younger siblings. And by living with my boyfriend before marriage, I am bringing shame to the family. There is a lot of burden placed on Nigerian first children by the family. You have to be perfect and do everything right. I have been doing everything right until I fell in love with my boyfriend and wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. And we planned out our life to get stabilized before getting married and having children. I was going to go for my doctorate immediately and add that to my title. But this work opportunity came in and I had to change my plan and defer my doctorate. Now I'm a failure and a disgrace to my younger ones and family.
So let me get this. Because you're planning your life with your boyfriend, you feel like you're a failure?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. How is your work going?
That is another big failure. I thought my 3 years of internship with the Assistant Director of Operation prepared me for the position, but it did not. Initially, they offered me 6 months orientation, but I was like, what would I be doing? What would I be learning in 6 months? Now that I started, I realized that for the first time in my life, I have no clue what I was doing. I wanted to quit, but then I'll be disappointing myself because I've never thought about quitting my entire life.
Look, I want you to understand that coming out of school and getting an executive job, an executive position without any work experience is a lifetime opportunity. You must have been so good during your internship for your outgoing boss to feel so confident that he wants to replace himself with you. There must have been something so good in you that he didn't see in other colleagues working in that company for a long time, that he felt so confident to give you this job. Now, explain to me how such an accomplishment, a great accomplishment, has turned into a failure.
Oh, everyone is extremely nice and always asking me if I needed help or if I needed more time to accomplish a task. I am constantly reminded that I am an executive and I should not rush my job because I am not under the clock. All these statements tells me that I'm not as fast as I should be. I don't see them telling that to other people. I don't see them asking other people if they needed more time or help.
So just because you are still doing orientation and people are chipping in, do you need more time? Do you need more help? You feel you're inadequate?
Yes.
Good. Have you taught it in another way? Could it be that they understand that you're just 23, you just turned 23, right? And they're giving you huge responsibility, that they're doing their best to make sure you succeed? Have you thought of it that way?
Not really. I've always...
Okay. Another one. Could it be that they are trying, that you, as a high achiever, is trying to master everything all at once, and you're freaking them out because you are too fast, and they are, kindly reminding you to slow down, take it easy, Take it easy because you are too fast. Faster than they think you should be. Have you thought about it that way?
Not really. I've always been the one people run to for help, not the one people ask if you needed help. Maybe you are right. Maybe I was going too fast and reminding me to slow down.
Okay. Coming to the cope strategies, I want you to look at this triangle and tell me what you see.
Thinking, feeling, and behaving.
Good. Thinking, feeling, and behaving. Everyone has certain amount of stress and has to deal with difficult times in their life. But making choice to deal with these things in a positive way will help you feel good about yourself. When you think positively, you will be happier and have less stress. How you think affects how you feel. Thinking, feeling, behaving triangle. Many times there is a trigger event that starts the negative thinking. For instance, in your own case, what started your trigger event is you getting this good opportunity, great lifetime opportunity, and deciding to defer your doctoral degree, and your parents feels you've disobeyed them. And another trigger at work is when people ask you, do you need help, do you need more time, right? Is that a trigger?
Yes.
Good. So Chinaza, when you at work and somebody comes into your office and say, oh Chinaza, do you need help, how are you doing today, do you need more time, anything I can help you with, what do you think?
It makes me think that I must be slow or retarded.
Really? Good. Okay. When you think that you must be slow or retarded, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel that I'm incompetent.
It makes you feel you are incompetent. And when you feel that you are incompetent, how does it make you behave?
It makes me sad, unproductive, and it makes me to drink.
It makes you to drink, and that is negative coping mechanism. The goal of this cope strategy is to change your thinking. So when you hear that question, instead of thinking you are slow or retarded, you think something positive. Okay?
Okay.
Becoming more aware of how you think is important so that you can help your thinking to be more positive. Now, we're going to go over your assignment in this scope strategy. Now, when you go home, I want you to write your triggers. What happened to set you to thinking? What did you think of? How did your thinking make you feel? How did you behave? And if you happen to think negatively, feel negatively, and behave negatively, how could you have changed your thinking in each situation to make it more positive? Now, like I told you, the goal of this therapy is to get you to think positively. Now, thinking positively, if somebody asks you that question again, what are you going to think?
I am not slow or inadequate. I am smart enough to have been offered this job. I am brave to have accepted this position. I am lucky to get an executive position straight from school, and I have a lot to learn. I am facing challenges, but in 6 months, I won't be as confused as I am now.
Now, that's some positive thinking. Now that you have thought positive, how does that make you feel?
Amazing. It feels like I'm wearing different lenses with new perspective.
Yes, you are seeing things from the positive perspective. Now, we're going to go over to the third therapy. The third therapy is called empty chair therapy. Now, how do you feel about your parents pushing you to get married, even though you and your boyfriend are not ready, or pushing you to abandon your lifetime dream career opportunity to pursue a doctorate degree? How do you feel about it? Just to fulfill their Nigerian cultural expectation. How do you feel about it?
You know, I wish I could put a mask and tell my parents all that I have been wanting to say, but I can't because it would be considered disrespectful to argue with them. My parents worked really hard to give me and my siblings comfort and upright upbringing. Telling them my mind will be viewed as being ungrateful for all they have done. I need lots of practice to be able to speak my mind without hurting their feeling. Right now, I am not sure I'm ready to tell them anything.
Good. That's why you're here, and that's why we are using the empty chair. You see this empty chair? I want you to pretend that this empty chair are your parents. And with or without a mask, I want you to empty your heart to them.
Mom, Dad, I am sorry if I did not live up to your expectation, especially at the time when I'm making some decision that you don't support. I have always trusted and adored you both. I know you want the best for me. Getting married and getting a doctorate degree has been my dream as long as I could remember. But I'm still going to make you proud, get married and get doctorate degree and give you grandchildren. The only problem is that it's not going to happen now. I will never allow my boyfriend to move into my apartment if we have not agreed to spend our life together. It is just that he needed time to build his career first, and I needed to settle in my new role of executive position before going back to my doctorate. Doing all of that at the same time will lead to conflict and ultimately failure. Please bear with me, give me at least 5 years, and I will be married, get a doctorate degree, and if God bless me, you will have your grandchildren. I have never intended to be ungrateful or disrespectful, but I'm seeing things with different pairs of glasses than the one you both are wearing. Please bear with me.
Now, how does emptying your mind to your assumed parents make you feel?
Whoosh, liberating. I wish I have the courage to sit both of them down and talk to them from my heart.
You will eventually have that courage, okay? That's why we're having this therapy. So for your assignment, I want you to practice this every night. Put a chair out in your apartment and talk to the chair as if it's your parents. So we eventually switch from this empty chair therapy to family therapy. But we're going to take it one at a time, so you build the confidence to express yourself without feeling disrespectful or that you're hurting your parents, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for coming. You remember your assignment, right?
Yes.
I want you to do your assignment and bring them to the next section. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate your coming. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, come.